Purchasing in Enterprise Manager is accessed from the Purchase Orders module. Here, we can search and we can select what we're going to search by. In our case, we'll select by a specific job. If we know what it is, we can simply type it in. If we don't know, we can select it from a lookup window, which includes recents and favorites. To add an item to the favorites list, you simply right-click on it and select Pin to Favorites. To remove it, you right-click on it and remove from favorites. Once the search completes, you're presented with the results grouped by whatever is selected here. The items will be automatically expanded to whatever item is selected here. Like anything in Enterprise Manager, clicking on it will supply a list of details and activities. This is the company location. This is the job. This is the vendor. This is the purchase order. And below that, we'll find the purchase order line item. The list of activities will generally include when the item was created, when the item was placed on a purchase order, when the item was confirmed with the vendor as them having received the order and telling us when they plan to deliver, any receipts, any invoices, any returns to the vendor, and any credits from the vendor. These three fields here are our tracking fields. This is the quantity we ordered, this is the quantity received, and this is the quantity invoiced. The specified cost is the cost that we actually entered and appeared on the purchase order. The average cost is the average of the costs if more than one item had been invoiced. And the landed cost includes all of the freight, crating, tax, and other charges that were on the purchase order spread across the items on it. Clicking on any of the items that are in blue will open an attached file. In this case, our receiver has scanned the item receipt, the pick ticket. Clicking on the invoice will likewise open the invoice. Not everyone will have permission to see costs, nor will everyone have permission to open those and look at them. Right-clicking on any item will supply a menu of things that can be done to that item. So right-clicking on the job will allow me to edit the job. Right-clicking on a vendor will allow me to edit the vendor. Right-clicking on a PO will allow me to edit the PO. I can right-click on this purchase order and I can print it. I can either print a copy intended for our vendor or a copy intended for our own receivers. My print menu will give me the option to view it, export it, email it, or select a printer. Once a printer has been selected, it would be offered here so that you can continually print to the same printer without having to select it. We're going to view this. This is what one of our purchase orders looks like. This is the vendor's information, the ship to, which will vary depending on where it's being sent to, Des Moines or Emmitsburg, the vendor's account number, the date that it was issued, the purchase order number, payment method, shipment method. Any notes that we'd put on the purchase order would appear down here. The color coding tells you at a glance whether the items have been received in full, in part, or overly received. Let's view another job. This job has items that are currently requested. And these items, which have not yet been received. I can tell from the icon here that this item has notes attached. Looking at it, quite a bit of stuff has happened to this. So we have multiple receipts of items, multiple invoices. And we have a note from Nancy to Sarah indicating to make a change to how the freight was split out. We also have the automatically transmitted purchase order. Clicking on the PO will give me information on the purchase order, including how it was shipped, where it was shipped to, the cost of goods on the invoices received, the expected costs that were specified, and the cost of goods broken out by job. Clicking on the job, if I scroll down to cost of goods, we can see the costs that have been charged to the job, and that is up to the minute. The PO charges are the items that, such as tax, crating, shipping, tax, kind of thing. If an item had not been fully received, for example, if we were to edit this item and increase the order quantity to 440, then the color coding on the purchase order will indicate that it's been partially received. This item would be overdue because Nancy had previously told the system that this would be in on December 12th of last year. Any items that are not fully received or fully invoiced will actually add expected costs to the job. This is a way for you to gauge what your job is going to end up at when it all is said and done.